Welcome to Jackal DIY and Tech. In today's video, I'll show you how to take a few components, like the ones you see now, a digital camera, combine the two, and make it so that the camera can take automatic pictures, maybe even videos, without you having to press a button. So let's get to it. Now the camera in question is Panasonic Lumix G80 or G85. It should work for most Lumix cameras, but I also found a website, which is this one. I will link it in the video description. It's docdiy.net and they have camera remote release pinout list. They have a list for a bunch of cameras and each manufacturer has different pinouts, as you can see, and they also have different kind of layouts. Since I have the Panasonic Lumix, this is what I'll be using. This camera has a microphone jack, but also a dedicated remote control jack. The microphone jack is 3.5mm, this one is smaller and it's 2.5. So this is what I'll be using, and it is right here, as you can see. If you have the same camera as I do, so a Panasonic Lumix, you'll want to find which wire is the positive or the negative. In this case, it's the green and the black wire. For that, the easiest way to know what it is to use a multimeter. So you will simply set this to the continuity mode, so it beeps, just like so. You will simply touch one section and then go over the wires one by one. In this case it's the black, and no other wire should have the connection. That is the case. The second ring, in this case, will be green, and it is. As for the two other wires, as you can see, in this case I don't need it, so the black and the green wires are what I want. I will simply now put this back in. Now, as you can see on the image, we have 3 resistors and I have 5 in total, or 6. And that's because I don't have the same kind of value of resistors. In this case, what we can do to test them out is simply change the value of the ohms. So in my case, the maximum that I've used is 20,000. So let's just go from the positive, which is the black wire, and see what values I've used. So this one is 2000. That is the closest that I had to 2.2000. But that's okay. It doesn't have to be exact values, as I'll show you. So we have 2.2000. The next one is 3.3000. And then I have 3 more. Now all of these are wired in series, so that means that I can connect the first one in the front and the last one in the back to get the total value. At least that should be the case, but I have to increase the value to 200,000 ohms, because this value combined is 36.7 thousand. So this is a combination of 3 separate resistors. One is 10,000, one is 20,000, and the last one is 6.8 thousand. Now if we go wire by wire and maybe we focus on the focus, so how will the electricity flow? If you go from the positive, it will run through this resistor, which in my case it's 2000. Now forget about the shutter section. Then the electricity will go to the next resistor, which is this one. It is wired in series. That is correct. And when the button is not pressed, the electricity will flow through all of these resistors and go to the negative. So the electricity will go to the top, to this one, then to this one, and back down through this wire to the green one. Now the button that I've used is a button that you can use in mouses or mice, the computer mice. As you can see, it has two legs and the connection is made once the button is pressed. So once I press this button, the electricity will not flow through the resistors, but it will go through this wire to the negative terminal on this cable. And also, the camera is providing all of the power. You don't need to connect this to anything else. Now about the shutter button, which previously I've used this, so I could trigger the camera manually to see if it actually takes pictures, and it did, and it still does, just not with this button. What I have used is a PCB. This one is ESP32C3 Super Mini, and I have connected it to one of the pins through a transistor, and this is basically a switch that triggers when this provides a signal. So the code that I have written triggers this circuitry once couple of seconds, maybe once every 2 seconds. I forgot. We'll take a look. So the transistor that I have used is, let's see, 2N2222A. So this is the transistor that I have used. The base is connected, let's see, after the 2K resistor. So in this case it's this dot. So this dot is the leg or the base. Now if we take a look at the transistor, it is this one. How have I connected it? On leg number 1, which is the collector, I have connected the output of the first resistor. The emitter, this one is connected directly to the ground, and the base is connected to the ESP32C3 Super Mini via a 1000 ohm resistor, and I have used, let's see which pin, I have used pin number 4. If you don't want to use a transistor like this one and just want to use physical buttons like this one, you would simply connect this leg to this dot, and the other leg would have to go to the minus. So I have connected it like this. It's not ideal that the PCB is hanging in the air like so, and it doesn't have the best connection with the resistor, but it should do the job. Now when I connect this, nothing should happen because this does not actually have power. I still have to power this on. It will not power automatically and magically if it is just connected like this. So first I will just connect this to the camera in a way that makes sense. I will also switch the screen so you can see it. As you can see, nothing is happening with the camera taking pictures because the PCB still needs, well, the power. But the focus button should register. Camera battery is low. So this is doing something, as you can see maybe on the screen of the camera. Maybe the camera has enough juice just to take a few pictures. Let's see. Nope, doesn't have the juice. Oh, so the camera is now recording, as you can see, so I will disconnect this. So what should have happened at the moment is the camera should have taken a bunch of recordings. I don't really want that. I want this to have an image. I think this should be exposed enough so you can see it on the top camera. And what I have to do is actually change this to, let's see, maybe automatic mode. Maybe go with automatic and an image. Press the button. So yeah, this should now take images. Now let me connect this back to the USB. So I have connected the ESP back into the PC. Any action going on? Maybe some loose connections? We had some automatic trigger happening. Now I just don't know how much delay I have set for the camera to trigger. So now it's doing it automatically. And now it has stopped, probably because of the resistor. Yeah, the resistor is touching everything. It should not be touching stuff. So yeah, as you can see, the automatic camera is working. I have both of my hands here, and you should see the Lumix camera screen flash, and also here the trigger. But again, I have no idea how long I have set the delay, but that is something that we'll take a look at right now. Now how I have done this is using the Arduino, because this is ESP32C3 Super Mini. Now I have one sketch opened. This is the one that we've done in the previous video. So if you want to know the basics of Arduino, I suggest you watch that video. For now though, let's go with open recent, and this was the Super Mini camera shutter. So as you can see, the code does not do much. I have specified 2 pins. The focus pin is number 3 and the shutter pin is number 4. Though in this case the focus pin has not been set up because I still use the button, but what I intend to use this for is something like, let's see, this one, automatic photography turntable. So the idea here is that the table turns using a stepper motor like this one. So you turn the table using a stepper motor like this one. The camera can then focus, though if it is stationary, I don't really think you would need it. And then after a while, so you wait for the table to stabilize, you take a picture, maybe 2, turn the table again, and repeat the process until you take 360-degree photos of your object, doing it automatically without you having to be there. Now as for the code, we have this pin mode. Both of the specified pins were set to be outputs, so you trigger something. In this case, both the focus pin and the shutter pin were specified as an output, so they act like a button. Then we have to set the pin values, so we use low, which means they are not activated. So this is in the setup stage, meaning the pins will not be active. So it is as if the buttons were not pressed. And then we have the loop section, which is where the code repeats, and that is why the camera is taking pictures every 3 seconds. So in this case, we would have the focus pin, which I have not connected to the camera, so this code basically does nothing, but it does wait half a second and 1 second, but this code is specified. So we have the shutter pin, we set the pin value to high, meaning we take a picture, we then have half a second delay, and we then set this pin value back to low. And we wait 3 seconds to go back to the beginning of the loop. So while this code is basic, it does establish the base to make something automatic. In this case, the camera triggers automatically whenever you want. Now I also had an idea, just when I was about to make this video, is as last time when I showed you how to make your own app, we could use the remote XY. So we could use the remote XY to make our own app. So what we could do in this case, just to have a simple app, is to have 2 buttons. Maybe this button, or maybe this would be a better push switch. So it is constantly on or off. So we could either disable or enable this, and this would then allow us to take a picture. So let's say off or on. So this is specified. So this would be like a toggle switch. When this would be on, the camera would be taking pictures automatically. When it would be off, you would be able to use the app and press on this button to then take the pictures when you wanted to. And as I've shown you previously, you can simply connect to the ESP32 using either the Bluetooth, but it has the BLE, my phone does not have it, or you could use the Wi-Fi. So if that is something also that you would like to see, how to make this app, which is a simple one, it is also free if you don't use too many elements. I believe the maximum is 5 that you can use, and you would want to wire then the app to the ESP32 to do exactly what I have said. Take the pictures remotely when you push a button, or let the camera take the pictures automatically if you disable this option. Then let me know in the comments down below. And if you found this video helpful and would like to see more content like this, let me know in the comments down below and also subscribe to the channel. That's it for this video, and we'll do something else in the next one.